You know the feeling, that gnawing whisper in the back of your mind, the one that says, you're behind. You see them, the early achievers, the chosen ones hitting every milestone, perfectly on schedule, graduated by 22, career by 25, married by 30, kids by 35. It's a timeline etched into our collective consciousness, a blueprint for a life you're somehow failing to build. But what if that timeline is a lie? From the moment we're born, we're programmed to compare our schools, our families, and now the endless highlight reels of social media. We're constantly measuring our internal world against everyone else's external facade. This isn't just vanity, it's a deep-seated psychological trap. Your brain, wired for survival, interprets being behind as a threat. It triggers cortisol, floods your system with stress, and convinces you that you're fundamentally flawed. But here's the hidden conflict. This feeling of being behind isn't a sign of failure. It's often a secret indicator of something far more powerful. What if the very thing making you feel behind is actually your greatest strength? Welcome to the world of the late bloomer elite. These aren't failures. They are individuals whose brains are wired for depth over speed. Their neural pathways take longer to form, but once established, they are more resilient, more interconnected, and capable of profound, sustained innovation. While others sprint, the late bloomer is building a stronger, more complex foundation. This isn't about being slow, it's about being deliberate. It's about a mind that refuses to accept surface-level answers, that needs to integrate diverse experiences before it can truly blossom. You're not behind, you're simply operating on a different, often superior, internal clock. So, how do you leverage this late bloomer advantage? First, reframe your timeline. Your journey is not a race, it's an exploration. Embrace the process of deep learning and integration. Second, cultivate your unique perspective. Your diverse interests and experiences, often seen as distractions, are actually your superpower for innovative thinking. Third, build resilience. The struggles you've faced have forged a mental toughness that early success often bypasses. Understand that your brain is designed for the long game, for complex problem solving, and for creating something truly original. Stop comparing your Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 10. Your story is still being written, and it's destined to be a masterpiece. The world needs your unique perspective, your depth, your resilience. Don't let a manufactured timeline dictate your worth. The truth about feeling behind is that it rarely begins in adulthood. It begins in childhood, when gold stars, report cards, and subtle comparisons start shaping our understanding of worth. When we learn that finishing first gets applause and hesitation gets concern, and without realizing it, we internalize the idea that speed equals value. So by the time we are scrolling through social media, watching classmates announce promotions, engagements, startups, relocations, and milestones stacked neatly like trophies on a digital shelf, the old conditioning reactivates and whispers that life is a race we are losing. But what no one explains is that comparison is a cognitive shortcut, a primitive survival mechanism designed to assess position within a tribe, not to measure destiny. And when that ancient wiring meets modern hypervisibility, it creates an illusion of urgency that feels biological. Your heart rate increases, cortisol rises, your thoughts narrow, and suddenly your unique journey looks like a mistake rather than a process. Yet development has never been linear in any meaningful system. Not in nature, not in art, not in innovation. Forests grow unevenly, with some trees shooting upward, while others expand slowly underground, strengthening root networks unseen for years. And human potential works in much the same way, because depth requires incubation, integration requires silence, and originality requires wandering. So what you interpret as delay may actually be cognitive layering, the accumulation of diverse inputs that later synthesize into uncommon insight. and the late bloomer often experiences more friction precisely because they are unwilling to adopt prefabricated identities. They test beliefs before wearing them. They question paths before walking them. They explore interests before specializing. And while this exploration can look like indecision from the outside, it is often strategic curiosity from the inside, building neural complexity that supports adaptive thinking later on. And adaptability consistently outperforms early rigidity over long horizons because the world changes. Industries shift, technologies evolve, and those who peaked by aligning perfectly with one moment sometimes struggle when the environment transforms.